Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's September 24th, 2018. I'm out in the chicken coop, or the duck and chicken coop. And recently we got a single load of wood chips in. So I decided, since the weather's getting so cold, it was down to 44 degrees this morning, it's time to get a lot of the plants that are not good in zone 5A here inside into the chicken and duck coop. Now last year I did the same thing, and there'll be some GoPro footage after this that shows me moving the plants in here. But last year I did the same process and had all of the figs, the citrus plants, some herbs in here as well, but we had much more than what we have in here this year. And I didn't have them fenced off. And this year I've decided to install some gates to corral off all of these plants so that the ducks and the goose don't do any damage to the plants over time, as what has happened in the past. So last year we lost, it looked like we lost about 80% of the figs and all the citrus plants. We didn't actually. They took a setback, but it took a couple months, but finally some of them started throwing up some new shoots and all. So we lost probably about 65%, probably about 80% of our citrus, and maybe about 45–50% of our figs. But a lot of them really got knocked back an awful lot. But we had them outside near the Harbor Freight greenhouse all summer long, and they've come back. So I just got them set up in here, but we started off 2 days ago. I started coming out and first blowing off all the cobwebs and cleaning up all the material that gather on all this rough cut lumber on the walls and on the ceiling. And the last time I cleaned it was about a year ago. And if I can find that video, I'll link it in the upper right hand corner. And around that time, we had lots of problems with the coyotes and the foxes coming in and taking the chickens. So our numbers drastically reduced. So I changed this whole corner. Instead of it being a blocked off section where Boo, the blind Rhode Island red, stayed with a couple of companions. And I decided to take that whole structure down because it was pretty much wasted space, and we had the large multi-unit nest box up there as well. Well, now we're down to just a couple of Rhode Island reds. The girls are 7 years old. We're going to be 7 years old in January. And we have the khaki Campbells and one goose. But the ducks and the geese really play havoc with all the plants, so that's why we got that area fenced off. So 2 days ago, started shoveling out all of the wood chip remnants and all the plant life that we've been feeding the chickens and the ducks all winter long and summer long. So the wood chips, these are all fresh wood chips down here right now. And I'll be making a wood chip video pretty soon. But the wood chips completely decomposed into beautiful material that I'm using instead of going out into the food forest or going into the compost pile to be thermophilically treated so that all the weed seeds are gone. This year I decided I'm going to use it for the pond patching, and there'll be another video coming up in pond patching pretty soon, using cardboard, paper products, and weed material, plant material, and certainly some of the bedding from the chicken coop. So once I shoveled all that out, about 6 inches deep, then brought in all the fresh wood chips, which are all the way around in here. And then yesterday I set up the gates in here so I could get the plants brought in. Since it was 44 degrees this morning, we decided it's time to get all the plants in, so I got all those in as well. So there'll be a little bit of GoPro footage of me just moving in some of the plants. You can see what we actually have here in here as well. And this is the new home for the ducks and the chickens. For the ducks until we get some rain, because our pond 5, the pond that they like going into, is really just a large puddle at this point. And this is a point where we've watched them at nighttime. The foxes come down and they're getting awfully close to the waterfall now. So we decided we'll lock them in here until we get some some significant rainfall and the pond starts to get some water in it. Once we get a couple of feet of water in it, the ducks and goose will be fine down there. So this is just an update on the chicken coop. You can see what we've got here. We really like this. This has worked out very well. And it will be, once the ducks and the chickens are gone, it will be another place that we'll use for growing food during the 12 months of the year. So if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, leave comments, ask questions, and by all means, folks, have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye.